welcome to the grid. You're just thinking about winning a race.
It's going to be two Mercedes going wheel to wheel into turn one.
Brilliant wheel-to-wheel action, definitely game on.
Your finest moment in the race.
What a great race we've got in progress.
Welcome to day 2 of test 2 here in Barcelona, and I've come to Red Bull because they had a good showing yesterday. You keep going, Max, that's absolutely fine. And as I was saying, they had a good showing on day 1. Daniel Ricciardo even said that the car seemed to come alive for him. So how did Max find it on day 2? He'd find himself 4th on the timesheets at the end of the day with a 120.432 on the soft tyres, but he would complete 102 laps. That's despite having to have the power unit changed over lunch and also an MG UK problem stopping him on track right at the very end of the day. Elsewhere in the times, Valtteri Bottas's performance run in the morning stayed at the top. On the super soft tyres, Felipe Massa on the ultra soft tyres, posting a 119.42. Kimi Raikkonen came in 3rd on the timesheets with a 120.4, and Lance Stroll, managing to get some good performance runs together in the afternoon, managed a 120.5 and completed 59 laps, a confidence booster for the Canadian rookie. Lewis Hamilton got out in the afternoon and did long runs. On the soft tyre, he posted a 120.7, but he put in those 79 laps in a good afternoon session. And Nico Hülkenberg put the Renault in 7th, 61 laps for him and a 121.2, his quickest time on those super soft tyres. But Fernando Alonso, the performance runs were mostly carried out in the morning, which left the afternoon for long runs, but those were interrupted by a crash for Kimi Raikkonen at turn 3. He reported no issues with the car, and the team said it was a usual testing spin. Julian, how was that then? You had to wait quite a while to get out on track in the end. What was the problem?
We had just a persistent hydraulics issue this afternoon, so another frustrating afternoon. Did some long runs, did some high fuel, we learned something, but I wanted a bit more.
I guess you guys always want a bit more before you get to Australia, don't you? You can never really have enough time on track.
No, but I think 15 laps yesterday and 29 today, I think, it's not a lot when we have 4 days of running. So I've got another 2 half days, so I'm looking forward to getting back out there. Today was never going to be massive performance running, it was just more about learning high fuel and some tyre info. So we learned something, I wish it was a bit more.
Do you want more laps, or do you want to get some performance running under your belt if you had to choose between the two now?
No, both. It shouldn't be one or the other. Performance running is always nice, but the most important thing is to get the laps, because then we learn and then we can get an even better performance when we do the performance running. So,
can you tell at all where you are right now? I know it's testing, it's really difficult to know, but Williams putting times up towards the top of the timesheet looks good, but we know what people do. They might do low fuel runs, they might be trying to get sponsors, all sorts goes on. Do you have an idea roughly where you are? Are you in a tight pack?
I think we're in a tight pack, basically. I mean, we're behind the top 3. Anyone else, I think, is in the tight pack, so it's all to play for.
Checo, almost a century of laps today, but how did the car feel? How are you feeling at the end of that day?
We had a lot of interruptions once with the brake. We had a little brake failure, then a couple of red flags, which we didn't quite get our program done. But I think we learned a lot once again today, and I think today the team has found a lot of the weaknesses that we have with the car, which are quite critical, and I think it's just a matter of time before we sort them out, because I think they're quite easy to sort those issues. So yeah, I'm optimistic. As always, it's not important where you are in testing in Barcelona, it's where you end up in Abu Dhabi last race. So very optimistic for the season, and yeah, it's still a long way to go. I think tomorrow with Esteban and obviously with me in the final day, we will have a lot of idea on where we stand.
Those weaknesses, are they solvable by Australia, or are they things that will be part of the development program?
We're pushing. Obviously, the team is pushing very hard to try to get some upgrades for Australia. especially those upgrades which are probably easy to fix and it just takes time. So hopefully we can fix most of them for Melbourne, and if not, by second or third race we should be already in a good level.
And just finally, from me, you say it doesn't matter where you start in Australia, but have you got any idea where you might start in Australia? Renault look like they've got some improvements this year, and Williams are getting high up on the timesheets. But as you say, you can't read too much into it. You don't know what people are doing. They might be trying to attract sponsors or all sorts. Any sort of feel for where you are, or do you think you're in a really good battle this year?
I think we are definitely on a very good battle. I think the top three teams are a bit ahead, and the midfield group is anything can happen there. I really hope that we can be the surprise, and yeah, I think I'm pretty confident. I think tomorrow and after tomorrow we will have a clearer picture on what we are, but I'm optimistic, and I think we have everything for a great year. I think the team has found a lot of weaknesses, so it's always good, and this is what is for Barcelona.
Daniel Ricciardo said last week the car was starting to come alive, feel that the car was coming alive underneath him. Is that how you felt today?
Well, more and more, of course. I mean, you improve the balance and then you start to push it more and more. So, yeah, I mean, with a new concept, I think that's always the case.
I was watching you this morning. You were pushing, not fully flat out, but you seemed to have a very responsive car underneath you.
Yeah, it's a smooth balance. You know, it's a predictable car, luckily. So, when you turn in, you know exactly what the car is going to do. So, I think that's always very positive.
You smiling underneath the crash helmet?
More than last year, because it's more enjoyable to take the fast corners now.
And what happened this afternoon? You caused the final red flag of the day. Why did you stop?
Yeah, I thought it was time to stop, so I just parked the car. No, unfortunately not. Yeah, I think we had a similar issue as this morning. So yeah, they're on top of it now, and I heard already they have solutions in place for the future, so it should be all right.
Put a bit more fuel in, yeah?
Yeah, that's what we say.
But is that true? Was it a fuel issue?
No.
Okay.
No, like I just explained.
Yeah. Well, you did. You said it was a similar one to this morning. What happened this morning?
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Oh. Yeah, I think we had an issue with the MGUK, so we need to check what happened there.
Brilliant. Thanks, mate.
Nico, just tell us, how was your running this morning? It looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think it was all right. One of the more productive mornings, and got 60 odd laps in. The starts practice at the end was good fun too, being on the grid again. So no, it was a good morning.
Anything new today that you didn't find yesterday? Any new challenges? Any new quirks?
Not really. Tyres are still black and round. The rest we're still working on.
I wanted to ask you about the tyres, because is there as much of a step between the different tyres, different compounds this year as there has been in the past? Or are you finding it's not as big?
No, I think actually the step between medium and soft is very big. But then soft to super soft, for me today, was the only reference I had. Didn't feel as big, maybe.
Fernando Alonso's afternoon wasn't any better than the morning. Just 19 laps to add to the 27 in the morning session. Fernando, do you have to take a deep breath before you come out here and just gather your thoughts before you come and speak to us?
No, not really. Obviously, it's not a surprise. Last week was not ideal for us, and yesterday with Stoffel was not also ideal. So today, more or less, we knew that we were in front of a tough day. So we try to learn as much as we can every lap we do on the track. Many test items in short runs, but try to finish the day with a lot of information to analyze. So yeah, tough test so far, the first week and this week. So we need to improve right now, if we want to arrive to Australia ready.
The longest run in the McLaren so far has been 11 laps. How much does that concern you at this point in testing?
Well, it is. Obviously, we are not fully ready to complete a Grand Prix yet. So the power unit has too many problems that we need to deal with it. So, it's the way it is. Frustrating, no doubts. We cannot say that we are happy. We are frustrated and disappointed. But, it's the time to learn and to work together and hopefully improve the situation soon.
I know there's nothing you can do at the moment as such, so you take the year as it comes this year, I guess, but is your aim to try and secure something else for next year by the summer?
We'll see. As I said, my future is not a priority right now. I live the present and try to enjoy as much as I can. I'm driving at my best. I feel, enjoying on the corners and driving and attacking the corner quite fast. So that's the first thing. I feel the best driver out there. So I just need an engine that can run as quick as the others on the straights.
Well, Fernando Alonso had even stronger words for the Spanish media when he told them the team are all ready to win, except Honda. He also said the car had no power and no reliability. He'll get back in it on Friday for his last day of testing before the first race in Australia. But tomorrow, Stoffel van Dorn will take to the wheel of the McLaren and hope he gets in more than the 46 laps that Fernando did today. We'll be back with live updates throughout the day on Sky Sports News HQ, and we'll also be back tomorrow night in Paddock Uncut to round up the day's events here in Barcelona.
Enjoy Sky Sports F1 Live on all screens, on the go, and the best